everybody, it is the Law Gnome, and welcome back to another Funko Pop update. If you are new to the channel, let me just say welcome. It is a pleasure to have you, and for all of you returning, I'm hoping that you're still excited about what's going on in the world of Funko, because I will probably say at this point in time, especially with the announcement that Brian Mariotti has officially gone on to start a brand new company, I don't really know what that means for Funko. I really hope that he's not going to try to be so bitter and try to drive Funko into the ground because, you know, what can I say? He was the one who basically turned Funko into what it is today. Unfortunately, these days, not one of the most favorable. But if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have things like Funko Pops and Funko Sodas and all those other lines that we currently have or we don't have anymore. And all I'm going to say is Funko has been a little bit weird these past couple of weeks. That's the only word I can describe them as, weird. Not to say that they haven't been introducing some really good products. I mean, there have been some very interesting announcements. Not many that I'm necessarily interested in, but I saw some really good new comic covers coming out, like a brand new Daredevil as well as a Batwoman, which I think is pretty cool. And they even gave us some very interesting retro single pops, like the mascot for the Honeycomb cereal, as well as one of the Street Sharks. Do you remember that? But I'm not so sure why they only gave us one and not the entire four of them. And even the very first Care Bear cousin. I know that they've made a couple of Care Bear pops, but we are going to be getting a Braveheart Lion, which I think is really, really nice. And my collection is still growing. I mean, I also saw some really great things in the world of music, especially the fact that if you are a TLC fan, you'll be able to get the No Scrubs triple pack. That was a great set of costumes that those ladies wore in that video, and it is really sad that Left Eye Lopez is no longer with us anymore, but it's great to know that they're going to continue to be preserved in Funko Pop form. And then there was an announcement for a brand new product that Funko is giving us. They're called the Jumbotrons. Definitely a collectible that is going to focus on manga and anime, it looks like, because so far the first one they announced was a Freddy Funko, of course. But they also announced the other two, which is going to be Speed Racer and Ken the Eagle from Gatchaman. Also, you know, this happened the month before, and I never even got a chance to really talk about it with you guys, but they announced Freddy Funko's sister, Franny. So I don't really know what your thoughts are on her, but she is apparently going to be immortalized as Funko Fair, just like he is. They're even already starting to put her into the Pop digital sets and making her a redeemable physical Pop. So I really think that that's a really nice thing. So I personally have no issue with it. I think more the merrier in the world of Funko land, but then there's some weird things that they announced, and I think the weirdest thing that they announced was a mashup of the Care Bears and Universal movie monsters. I mean, they did this once with Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera, and now they're doing this other bizarre mashup, and there was something that almost got me very pissed off, which means it's the NFTs, of course, and that was the fact that they were doing a Batman the Animated Series line, but they made an Alfred. And I personally really want an Alfred in my collection. I'm really surprised they're not even giving us any more Batman Animated Series commons anymore, because there's still so many characters they haven't given to us. But based on what I saw, it's glow-in-the-dark pops, and they're all encased in these cylinders, which doesn't make any sense to me. So let's just say that my eagerness to scream at the top of my lungs about why I can't get Alfred is now officially never going to happen, because I don't want Alfred encased in a glass capsule. But NFTs, as they continue to upset me, sometimes good things can happen. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk to you guys about today in regards to news. And I also know you guys are very excited for San Diego Comic-Con coming up. I'm really hoping that there are some good reveals, but I'm really curious to see if I'm even going to invest in anything. But in the meantime, let's take a look at how my collection has been going. So when you're a Funko collector, as long as I have been, you will be wondering if they will ever give you certain characters immortalized in Funko form. Collecting since the winter of 2013 and seeing all of the amazing things that Funko has given us up until this point, I was still wondering if there were certain things that I was going to finally add to my collection, and if that never came around, would I even still be collecting Funko Pops? Well, if there's one thing that Funko has done in the last 2 years is they've finally been revealing things that I am personally very interested in. I mean, considering the fact that we finally got Goodfellas Pops after all these years made me very happy. But these three are Pops that make me very happy. And do you notice something very interesting about the boxes? Yes, I actually managed to get my hands on a physical Funko digital Pop. I never thought I was ever going to see the day when I was going to get my hands on one of those, but there were certain reveals of digital lines that got me very upset because I would have loved to have added them to my collection. So I started looking on eBay over the last couple of months to see if maybe there's a possibility that some of these would be in my reach. At this point, unfortunately, most of them are not. But along with an additional one that I have in my collection right now, and a third one that's going to most likely show up before the end of the summer, I was at least able to get certain ones for a good price. And this was just a little under $50, but it is one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera characters. It is Birdman. Now, would I have wanted to get a Harvey Birdman attorney at law? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm even reading Space Ghost in comic book form, and I'm enjoying it very much. But Hanna-Barbera is one of my favorite animation companies, and Birdman is one of my favorite Hanna-Barbera creations. So when I saw that I was able to actually get my hands on a physical Birdman Pop, I got so excited, especially because it was going to be the first digital in my collection. And this is a 2,000-piece figure, so that's all you get. I love the fact that he was also sent to me in a pop protector, which is great, so that's where he stays, but he's very easy to get in and out of the box, so I thought it would be cool to really take him out of the box and show it to you. So obviously we have a very different box. It is black. You see the amount of pieces that he is, and you turn him around, you actually see the digital card that you can find him in if you were actually opening the packs. And it's actually a very good quality box. It's got some bumps on it for like 3D effects, but the pop itself is really why I'm excited. And it's a great pop. He's got a stand, and he's got his action pose. He's got his beautiful wings, which are amazing details. We've got the crest on Birdman's helmet, and we also have him featuring a solar blast coming out of his fist, and he's got his stand. Everything on this pop is perfect. He's a simple character, but they did an amazing job on him, and I'm so glad to actually have a digital pop in my collection. The next one that I want to go over... Oh, by the way, the theme is television. Sorry about that. And we got a Funko Pop that I was hoping would finally show up. They gave us the DC animated show Harley Quinn. And of course, I was not going to go crazy and get all the Harley Quinn Pops, but there was one specific character that I would love to have in my collection, and I got him. It is Frank. I love Frank. One of my favorite characters on the show, so funny, and they did not disappoint. I love that they did what they did with his eyes, and he's got the big smile. That's my favorite part about him, the smile. And turn him around, you see the dimensions and the features and the colors. I love the shade of green. They did a great job with the color scheme here, and this is definitely one of my favorites in my DC animated collection, along with the Batman animated series, and a few other things that they just happened to throw in there, but if there was any Harley Quinn Pop I was going to get, it would be Frank, and that I have him now makes me very happy. And on the box, you can get other characters. You can get this version of the Joker, you can get Dr. Psycho, Harley, and Ivy, of course. I'm having a feeling that if this line actually sells, they will make more, because there are other characters that people like on this show. I mean, I'm really surprised they didn't make a Kite Man. Maybe he'll be a con exclusive, who knows. But would I want to get a Kite Man? Hell yeah. So the last pop that we have in the world of television is a character that I had been saying for a very long time that I would love to have. And he's brand new. He's one of the newest pops that Funko has created in this year. And I was really surprised that he got to me as quickly as he did. And he's the legendary Pink Panther. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that used to watch the Blake Edwards film, maybe even the Steve Martin film, but I was very excited that they were going to at least give us the cartoon from the 60s and also the 90s, the Pink Panther. They did a great job. I love the pose. The shade of pink is just perfect, and I love the fact that they got a good little smile on him as well. I love the way his eyes look. He's just so laid back, and when you turn him around, you get a good shaping of the tail there. But there's one thing about this pop that I think they could have done just a little bit better. It's just a small personal nitpick, and I'm not going to shame them for it, but I just think that with him, they should have given him yellow eyes. And that's just because if you see the Pink Panther, you know that that is the color of his eyes, and it just would have added a little bit more for the fans, but it's crazy to believe that this is number 1551 in the television show grouping of Funko. That just shows you how many years it has been since Funko started making Funko Pops. So I'm glad to have these three in my collection, especially the Pink Panther, but more so, to have an NFT physical in my collection is pretty great, and the fact that I didn't have to open up packs to get it and spend all that money made me very happy. But in the world of Funko Digital, there are definitely some that I would love to add to my collection, so I do have a grail list, everybody. These are my grails. So knowing that there's this one and another one that I will show to you guys on a later date, and another one that I've been seeing very reasonably priced, I'll have 3 of these, but there's still others that I would love to get. But in the meantime, everybody, that's all I've got for you. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Leave your comments in the box below. Let me know how Funko was to you these past couple of weeks. Let me know if you added anything into your collection. Let me know if there was anything that I might have missed. And what are you looking forward to hopefully seeing in San Diego Comic-Con? And I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, feel free to leave a comment. Also, feel free to subscribe if you want to be up to date with our latest videos. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Actions speak louder than words.